Final Fantasy VII Remake. Available on PlayStation platforms, as well as Windows PCs. PlayStation 5 and Windows copies retail for $69.99, but the PlayStation 4 version is only $59.99. And we are using footage from the PlayStation 4 version here. And let's get this out of the way. It's pretty obvious that calling this a Final Fantasy VII Remake is disingenuous at best. As everybody probably already knows, this game covers the Midgar section of the original Final Fantasy VII. A section that in the original took 4 to 6 hours to complete. But here will take 30 to 40 hours to complete. How did they inflate that figure so much? With filler. A huge, and I would say almost criminal amount of filler. There is a huge amount of side quests and minigames, none of which really add anything to the game. There is a ton of voice-acted dialogue, but none of the voice acting is very good. Frequently, there will be new characters added. Like this character that's added for one of the bike sections. They are given personalities, and usually voice actors, leading you to think they will be important somewhere further down the line, but so far as I can tell, this is never actually the case. It's a bunch of flash for no substance. In fact, I think flash with no substance is the overall theme of this game. As graphically, this game is very impressive, very beautiful. It just isn't very interesting after the initial shock of how beautiful it looks. And throughout the story, after you finish huge filler sections, you'll then get to something that's actually a remake of a scene from the original Final Fantasy VII, and you'll think for a moment, oh, are we finally getting back on track here? And you'll be disappointed as you're led to yet another filler-tastic section. This is made worse because there are a few ideas that are added that could be interesting, but instead of fleshing them out in any significant way, we just see them once and then they go away. For example, we get the hint that there are other cells that are working with Barrett's group to bring down Shinra, but they don't elaborate on this at all. You just briefly see some generic-looking troops in one scene, and that's it. And towards the end, things go completely off the rails with some kind of time travel spirit nonsense. The time travel spirits are also used to justify why you can't go to certain sections at certain times in the story. Like most time travel in fiction, if you think about it logically for more than about a minute, it completely breaks down. But this is a game after all, so maybe it's not fair for me to keep hounding after story and narrative and pacing. Well, it is a Square Enix game with a real-time combat system. So you either just pound the attack button, or you attack with an elemental weakness first, and then pound the attack button. You know, when you encounter the really hard enemies. So no, I don't think this game is worth investing $70 in. Or even $60 on the PlayStation 4. You know how when a movie gets remade, there'll be a large group of people that say, don't bother with that remake, just go and get the original. That exact same logic applies here. For less than $20 on any modern platform, you can get the original Final Fantasy VII. And it will be much more worth your time and money than this graphically impressive but bland game. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends.